Hello and good morning, good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to another Facebook Live. If this is the first time you're watching Facebook Live with us, my name's Craig and I teach at mansioningles.com, which is a free website to improve your English. And we also have a podcast that I do with my friend Reza at inglespodcast.com. And the name of the podcast is Aprender Inglés con Reza y Craig. I want to apologize for not being here on Facebook for the last 2 weeks. I had a slight family personal thing, so that's why I wasn't here. But back this week, and happy to say let me get this right, with my good friend Lynne, who is also an English teacher. I've known Lynne for a long time. She's an excellent English teacher, a fantastic teacher, and also a wonderful person. So I'm very pleased to have her with us this week. Hello, Lynne.
Hello, Craig. Hi, everybody.
So Lynne has a wonderful website. Let me get this up here. putitlikethis.com. So if you are looking for some private teaching and coaching, Lynne is definitely the person to talk to. And we'll speak a little bit more about that later. Today, we're speaking about crime vocabulary, and hopefully we'll be able to help you a little with some crime words. Let's just have a quick look and see who's with us. Victor is here. Hello, Victor. Nice to see you. And Gemma, of course, there you are, Gemma. Thanks for coming in again. Always good to see you. So let's begin. If it's the first time you're watching the replay, then welcome to you too, if you're watching after the fact. Margot has joined us, so hello to you as well, Margot. And we'll begin with a quiz. We're going to begin with a quiz this week. And there are no prizes, but you do have the satisfaction of knowing that your vocabulary is really, really good if you know the words we're going to describe. So we're going to describe some vocabulary connected to crime. And you need to write in the chat box the name the crime and the criminal. So what crime are we describing? And what's the name of the criminal? Lynne, would you like to start us off with the first definition, please?
All right. I think this one's easy, right? So this is when you kill somebody on purpose, or if you kill somebody deliberately. Let's see what we've got. So you remember, you need to write the crime and the criminal.
So while you're thinking, while you're writing, a quick hello to Jahir, who's with us from El Salvador, and Alejandro, hi. Letty's with us, Erica, Beatriz, hello. Christine and Francesca, wow, so many people. It's lovely to see you all.
We've got an answer from Christian. Yeah?
We've got an answer from Christian, and he's correct. Fantastic. He's got it.
First.
So that's the answer. Murder is the crime, and murderer is the person. And the connotation with that is to commit. So you commit murder when you kill someone. Okay, let's go to the next one. That's very good. Let's see if you know the next one. This is where you force someone to have sex. So you have sex with someone against their will. What's the crime and the name of the criminal? Write that in the chat room, please. When you force someone to have sex and you abuse them sexually, what's the crime? What's the criminal? Any answers, Lynne?
So far, no. I can just see murder and murderers, but that was for the first question. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a while, but well done if you did get that. It takes a while for you to...
Okay. Anna's got the crime. Well done, Anna. Yeah, the crime is rape. Luthma has said violation, but in actual fact, we don't use that word in English, violation. You can have a violation of your rights. So if somebody is is not following the human rights that you have. We talk about human rights violations, so crimes against your human rights, but we don't use it for rape. Okay, so if somebody forces you to have sex without your agreement, then that is rape. And the person who does it, Christine's got that one. Rapist.
Well done, Christine.
Well done,
Rapist.
Christine.
Yeah,
Rapist.
fantastic. Yeah.
Well done. Christian's also said sexual, I think he wanted to say assaulter, but we don't usually use, we say sexual assault as the crime, but we wouldn't say assaulter, would we, Craig, for a person who does it?
No, not for the criminal. It's sexual assault is a crime. What would the criminal be? A person who commits sexual assault would be a criminal. Would be a criminal.
So,
Yep.
But rapist is the one that we were expecting for that one. Yeah.
Yes. So that's what we wanted. Some more people are joining us. A quick hello to Jabber, who's joining us again. Hi. Yes, I'm sorry I wasn't here for the last 2 weeks, Javier, but I'm happy to be back again. Mariela from Argentina is with us, and JC Alvaro from Peru.
Wow.
And Jacqueline and Angel, and welcome to all of you. Okay, whose turn is it? Is it me now?
Yeah, no, it's me. It's me.
Okay,
right, so here we are. So setting fire to a building or setting fire to cars or property on purpose, again, deliberately. So when you set fire to a building, a car or property on purpose, what is the crime and what is the criminal? Okay. While we're waiting there, Craig, for people in their answers while you're thinking, maybe we should also mention that with crimes, often we use the passive for the victim. So we say to be. So often we're looking at the vocabulary for the crime and the criminal, the nouns, but often there are verbs too. So there's a verb to murder and there's a verb to rape. And if you're looking at the victim's point of view, you would say he got murdered, or she got raped, or he got raped. Yeah. So we use the passive construction. You can say be raped, she was raped, or the more informal way is to say to get raped. He got raped or she got murdered. Okay. And that's with a lot of the vocabulary that we're going to use, that we often use the passive. Yeah. Okay, I think we got the answer. Who did you see first, Craig? I missed it. I can see.
It's because of the delay. Sometimes we had a competition. Some regular people remember 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, we had a competition and people were arguing about who put the answer first. But so I've got to be really careful. It looks like it's Christine who's got the answer. Do you agree with that? I think Christine was first. And the answer is arson.
Arson and arsonist.
Yeah, my football team is Arsenal. Some of you who like football might know that Arsenal is a famous London football team. So if you're having trouble remembering arson and arsonist for fire, setting fire to something, because it's not connected to the Spanish word, which is piro something, piromania or algo así. So just remember the Arsenal football stadium on fire. Arsenal, arson. If you make those connections with sounds of words, it makes it easier to remember. If you have that picture in your mind of a word and connect it to an image, however silly, however stupid, it really does help you to remember the word. So remember Arsenal, the stadium on fire, and hopefully you'll remember arson and arsonist.
Arsonist. It's a strange word, isn't it? It's a strange word. Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Okay, your turn now. Your turn.
So the next word you have to write.
Who's that way?
The next word you have to write. Let's see. This is where you threaten to reveal someone's secrets unless they pay you. I can give you the Spanish word. It's chantaje. So what's chantaje in English? And what is the name of the person who commits Chantaje.
I love this word. I like the way the word's made. I think it's really nice.
Well, I'm going to ask you why when we show it up. So when we show it on the screen, I'll ask you why you like it.
Yeah.
Okay, any answers?
Ro has said that the person who does arson is piromano.
Okay.
You were looking for the word in Spanish there, so that's good.
Thank you for that. Piromano, yeah.
Esther's got it there.
Esther's got it?
She's got the crime, and now we need the person.
So the person who commits the crime.
Christine's got it. The person
well done.
who commits the crime.
Well done, Christine. Blackmail. Chantaje is blackmail, and the person is a blackmailer. Why do you like the word so much? Because it's
because it's just like compuesto. A color, and it's like a email. So it's not an email, it's not a red mail, it's not a white mail, but it's a blackmail. I don't know. I like it. If somebody's like trying, you see on the crime shows when they send a letter, but they don't want to use handwriting, and they cut out the letters from the newspaper and stick it, and it's all black. So it's like a black letter, blackmail. Yeah,
that's
and
true.
They want you to pay money to do.
So again, that's a powerful way to remember it. If you remember Lynn's example of cutting out black text from the newspaper to get the money, you can maybe remember blackmail. Okay.
Great. Okay, my turn?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Now, I think we've seen this word because somebody thought it was this word earlier. This is when you give money or you grant favors to influence another person's decisions or behavior. So, for example, this happens a lot, maybe. You want to persuade somebody to pretend that they haven't seen something. Then maybe you want to give them money and they will tell a lie. Or maybe it's a person in power or in government, and you try to give them money so that they will they'll influence, it will influence their decisions. Yeah, maybe they will give you the contract to build something big.
Or maybe they want to pass an exam and they give some money to their English teacher to get a good mark.
I've always hoped for that, but nobody's ever. Has anybody ever tried for you?
Not in Spain, but when I was teaching abroad, one student's father came to a meeting and did offer me money to give his son a good grade.
Really?
Yes.
Right.
And his son was terrible at English.
Wow.
And I didn't accept it.
Oh, well, you shouldn't give the answer, because later I'm going to ask you, what crimes have you committed?
Okay. I have committed a couple of crimes. I'll tell you later. But this word that we're looking for, there's no noun for the person who commits the crime, is there? It's just the name of the crime.
But there are two verbs that we need. But maybe you want to tell, because I think people have found the answer now.
Okay, that's the answer. Bribery.
Bribery. And there are two verbs that go with that. Somebody who gives a bribe. So you can use the word noun. So that you can be a person who gives a bribe. You're the person doing it. And you can be also, it's also against the law, the person who takes the bribe. So there's like those two verbs, give a bribe and take a bribe. And they're both criminal acts, usually, I think. Yeah.
And the verb, of course, is to bribe someone.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So well done if you got that.
Yeah. Okay, great. Ooh, somebody said, Ava said, ooh, I don't know why. Or oh.
Soborno, yeah, as Luthma said it. Yeah, soborno Luthma. Very good.
I think Ava must have been surprised that somebody offered you a bribe, Craig. That's why she went, oh.
Well, it only happened once, and it was a very long time ago, and I didn't accept it. So my conscience is clear. I can sleep well at night.
Okay. Right. Your turn now, yeah?
Before Yaber says it's quite popular here in Mexico. Maybe I should be teaching in Mexico, Yaber. Maybe I'd have a bigger house if I was teaching in Mexico.
Maybe.
Is it me? Is it me or you?
It's you.
Is it me? Okay. Where are we? I'm lost. Oh, here we are. This
Yeah.
is where a person or people, usually terrorists, take control of an aeroplane. What's the name of the crime? What's the name of the person who commits the crime? So you must have seen films where the terrorists have a gun, maybe a plastic gun that they've brought through illegally on the plane, and then they go into the cockpits at the front of the plane and they say, we want 10 million pounds and take us to whatever country. Mm-hmm. What's the crime and what is the criminal?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jacqueline says it's a terrorist. It is a terrorist, but the crime has a special name.
Cello has it.
Cello has it. Yes, Cello said hijack. Well done, Cello. And the person, do you know Cello, the person who commits the crime?
There she is, hijacker.
Hijacker, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Let me find it here so you can check.
Hijacking
and hijacker.
Now,
well done.
Another lovely word to remember, because I have this vision that somebody is in the plane and they stand up and they go, hijack.
Hijack.
Give me the plane.
And the pilot, his name is Jack, and he's got a gun.
Exactly. Hijack.
Hijack, this is my gun. That's an easy way to remember it.
Yeah, these are lovely words. I think the words with crimes are really, really interesting. Okay, so it's a hijack. And also you can actually, Craig, in South Africa, when I went to South Africa, it was very popular to hijack cars.
Yep.
Not planes. So sometimes cars can be hijacked too.
And I think that's called a carjack.
Carjacking, exactly.
Carjacking.
Carjacking as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that they put a gun and you have to give them the keys and get out of the car.
That happened to me, actually. I have been carjacked. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
It was in Venezuela.
Wow.
On holiday many years. I didn't tell you this story.
No.
A long time ago, I was hijacked and they stole money, passports, cameras from everybody in the Jeep.
Wow.
Yeah. It was very, very scary. Very scary. Anyway,
I'm glad.
I'm here. Yeah. I'm still here. So hi, Jack.
There's hijack from Eva. Great. Okay, is it my turn now?
That's you now. Yeah.
All right. So this is when you don't take a plane, but you take away a person by force. And then when you take the person, you demand money from people who love them. And you say, if you give me the money, I'll let you have the person back alive. Right? So you don't take a car or a plane, but you take a person. Yeah.
And we already have answers. Correct answers. Yeah.
Yep. There we go.
And Monica has it, and Jabber has it as well. And there we have kidnapping and kidnapper, which is also a nice sounding word. Kid, like child, and nap, like to sleep.
Sleep.
Kidnapper.
But it has no relation to the activity.
No connection.
No activity.
No relation at all.
No, but it's a strange word, kidnapping. Right.
Okay, the next words we have for you are very current. They're in the news a lot. And this is where there's a very violent, noisy public disturbance. Now, we've seen this recently, especially in North America, in cities like Chicago, New York. There's been an ongoing, which means continually happening, of this in Portland. And it's when people get very, very angry and they demonstrate in a noisy and often violent way. And it usually involves the police. It may even involve the army against the demonstrators. So what's the name of that crime and the people who commit the crime?
Christina
Lots.
has
Christina's
got it.
got it.
Yeah, she's got it.
Where is she? Yep,
She's the
Christine's
first
got
one.
it.
Yeah.
Right, and rioter. Well done,
Christine.
Christine. There's the Black Lives Matter protests that have been very popular in North America because of George Floyd.
Yes.
Just looking for, there it is, the card. Riot. Be careful of the pronunciation. Riot, and rioter. Rioter.
Rioter. Yeah, it has a y sound in it that isn't there in the letter, is it? Y for yes. And we say riot.
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 Riot. Okay. My turn?
Your turn, Lynn.
Right. This is a lovely word. I love the sound of this word.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It's a hard one for foreign speakers to pronounce, though. But we'll practice that in a moment. So this is when, for example, imagine you are in a prison, for example, and people want to, if you're in the prison as a prisoner, and then maybe you want to get some items that are not allowed in the prison. So people take things into the prison secretly, or they might be taking things out of the prison secretly, and it's not allowed. So it's moving goods secretly. In many years ago, like hundreds of years ago, they used to do this with alcohol, I think, because alcohol was banned in some countries. And then pirates used to come and they used to leave the alcohol on beaches secretly at night, and then people would take the alcohol elsewhere.
And I can remember years ago when there was a limit on the number of bottles of alcohol that you could bring into the UK from another country. So if you had more than 1 or 2 bottles of spirits and you brought in more, you were committing this crime with cigarettes and tobacco as well.
Cigarettes, Luthman's just said, or cigarettes. This crime is with cigarettes. Good.
Esther, well done. And Christine also has it. Yeah,
exactly. So
and
it was
cello,
the word.
Cello as well.
The word is quite difficult, right? Can you put it up, Craig?
Yeah, I'm just looking for it. Too many words. Here we are.
Right. So the word, the pronunciation is smuggling. Smuggling. And the other word is smuggler. And I think the problem that causes the problem with the pronunciation is the U, because you want to say smuggling, but it's not smuggling. It's like it's a sound, smuggling.
Like up.
Like up or mother. It's the same sound, smuggling and smuggler. And the other reason that it's difficult is because you've got the G and the L. So you've got a consonant cluster. So we have to say smuggling. We actually put an in the middle to make it easier. Smuggling and smuggle. Do you like that word? I like that word.
I do like that word. I like saying it. Smuggling. Smuggling.
And in Harry Potter, if there's anybody who's a Harry Potter fan, do you like Harry Potter, Craig?
I'm not a huge fan, but I've read the books and I've seen the films. So
she created the word for non-magic people, and the non-magic people are called muggles.
Also, if you just add an S to muggles, you get smuggler. Almost.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
All right, then your turn.
Okay, so the next one is quite similar to smuggler and smuggling, but it's when you're trading and selling and dealing in people, for example, something illegal like people or drugs. So it's when you're buying and selling something illegally, usually drugs. These days, it's often in the news because of illegally bringing people into a country or maybe using them as slave labor or prostitution. So it's trading and dealing with something illegal.
And the thing is illegal, isn't it? Because with smuggling, the alcohol and the cigarettes, they're not illegal. But for your word, the thing that they're trading in is against the law. completely. Luthmus said dealer, which is true for drugs, isn't it?
Yes, you can a drug dealer.
Dealer. Mm-hmm.
But I associate a drug dealer with more on the street, perhaps. And the word we're looking for, I think it's a bigger thing. It's more international, with more money.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and remember, it's also for people, not just drugs.
Also people, yeah. Hemma's saying dealing as well. That it's true. You do have drug dealers, and that's a crime. But what we're looking for is something bigger, something that involves also people and usually more money. And when I see this word, it always reminds me of cars and lorries and taxis and motorbikes. Although there's no connection, I think. Well, maybe there is. Maybe there is a connection. Nobody?
There's Angel. Angel's got it.
Yes, but not quite.
That's
close.
Merche's got it.
Close, but no cigar. Merch's got it. Trafficking. Yes, that's the one we're looking for. So where are we?
Trafficking is crime. Yeah. And the person, Yabir, has got it. Trafficker. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, people trafficking and drug trafficking tends to be bigger than just dealing. Mm-hmm. Okay, Lynne, your turn.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. This is an easy one. So everybody has to be ready. I think this is easy. This is the word for stealing things in general. When somebody steals something, when they take it without your permission. Christine lost connection, but she's back again. That's good.
Welcome back, Christine. Yeah, now we're going into words that are all connected to stealing in some way. So we've got some words now that have some connection to stealing things. There are quite a few words in English for stealing.
Okay. Angel said robber. You've made a mistake with the spelling there because
rubber's goma. The way you've spelt it there, Angel, that's goma.
Rubber is what you do to erase your pencil. Mm-hmm. Luthma has said thief. And that's true, isn't it? That's correct, Craig?
Yes, that's correct.
Thief for the person. But what do we call the crime?
What's the crime? Does anyone know the crime?
Cello.
Yep, Cello's got it.
Well done, Cello.
Fantastic. So theft is a crime and thief is the person. Mm-hmm. Well done.
Right. Now, there's a few other words that people have put up there, and they will be coming in future questions, and we'll see the difference between them. Okay.
Yeah, so focus on the definitions because they will help you to understand the differences between these words. So the next one is where you steal a large amount of money with force of violence, maybe with a gun or a weapon, usually from a bank or a shop. You could steal jewelry, for example, gold, silver jewelry, pearls, necklaces, rings, diamonds, or money from a bank. So it's stealing as well, but there's a specific name for stealing from a bank or a shop or a post office.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. So the crime and the criminal. Any ideas? Could also break into an office.
Not a home, no.
Not a home. That's coming later.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Esther's got it, I think.
Esther.
And
well
Christine
done,
as well. Very good.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, robbery and a robber. So you have a bank robber. That's a strong collocation. A bank robber. And again, that word commit for the collocation, to commit robbery, commit theft, commit rape, commit murder. Lots of collocations with commit in crime.
And if you're a victim, you can say, my shop got robbed, or my shop was robbed, or the bank was robbed in the passive. When you're describing what happened to the victim. Okay. And it was very close with the word robber. They're very, very close. Robber is the goma, and robber is the person who steals. Okay, right. My turn?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the one before the robbery and the robber was when you steal things from a shop or a bank. And this one is when somebody breaks into your house to steal things from your house.
Or your flat. Or could you say that this for the office or as well, or would you use robbery for an office?
I think more robbery. I think
more robbery, isn't it? This is more personal. It's more where you live, where your home is. Yes,
I think so. Yeah.
Yep, Gemma's got it. Well done, Gemma. Burglary. And the person, Gemma, do you know the person?
Burglary. Yeah, lots of people are getting it now.
Okay, there you are. Burglary and burglar. Burglar. That AR at the end of burglar is the same pronunciation as ER or OR. It's the sound. Burglar. Okay. And burglary. Stress the first syllable. Burglary. So we've been burgled, as Lynn said, it's often used in the passive. I was burgled. They stole some money. I was burgled. Have you ever been burgled?
Me, no.
Me neither. Oh, actually, yeah. My family, when I lived in the UK, I was very, very young, maybe 6 or 7 years old, and our house was burgled. Yeah, they didn't steal. We didn't have much. They didn't steal much, but they broke in through the window.
We had a funny story with the neighbours, and somebody tried to burgle them when they were asleep. But what they didn't realise was that the window they were trying to get into was actually the bedroom. And the person, my neighbour, woke up, and he woke his wife up, and he said, shh. And he got out of bed really carefully. And the man, the burglar, was halfway through the window, and all he had to do was hold him until his wife called the police, because he couldn't. He was hanging over the window. But that was years ago, so that's a funny story. But
not the brightest light in the harbour.
No. And then you sometimes read stories in the news about burglars who get hungry halfway through, and they start eating
in the kitchen,
back, and then they get caught. So I think a lot of people who burgle, they're not professionals sometimes. Maybe the robbers, the bank robbers, they have more preparation, maybe.
Okay, so also on stealing, with the idea of stealing, our next words are the people who steal something from a shop. So you go into a shop, and when no one's looking, you take something, put it in your pocket, and walk out of the shop. So there's a specific word in English for the crime and the criminal. And I like this word as well. I quite like this word. It's and I think it's quite easy to remember. Again, if you create a picture in your mind, an image of this word. So it's specifically stealing from a shop or a supermarket, and then just walking out.
It's not with violence, because when we talked about robbery is more with violence, with guns, isn't it, in a shop?
Yeah.
But this one is very secretive.
Christine is on fire today. She's getting all of them. Well done, Christine. Fantastic. So yeah, it's shoplifting. Imagine like lifting up the shop, and then walking away with all of the shop. Shoplifting is the crime, and shoplifter is the criminal.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now this is another lovely word. I love this word too. So I like the image of the shoplifting, and this one is lovely. If you're in a crowded place and somebody steals without you noticing your wallet or your purse from your pocket or from your bag, and they just take it out, and often you don't notice it's gone until much later. What crime and what criminal is that?
Olga's just joined us. Why are you late, Olga? What have you been doing that you missed half an hour? Where have you been? This is not good enough, Olga. Yes, Esther's got it. Fantastic. Yeah. That was very, very quick. Well done, Esther.
Pickpocketing and pickpocket. And that's really visual, isn't it? Because your pocket is where you keep your wallet, and somebody picks it out of the pocket. Pickpocketing and pickpocket.
Again, I think that's quite difficult for Spanish speakers to pronounce because of the consonant clusters in there, and there's so many consonants. Pickpocket. Pickpocket.
Yeah, possibly. Okay.
So again,
Victor used a big word there. Victor said larceny.
Larceny?
Larceny is a crime, but I don't know what it means. Do you?
It's American English, isn't it? Larceny. Grand larceny. It's more used. It's used more in American English. It's the theft of personal property. According to Google, it's in English. Law larceny was replaced as an. Oh, that's no. What's the difference between theft and larceny? They're often used synonymously, so together, but they're not the same. Larceny is a smaller crime, while theft is seen as a more serious crime. And it depends on the state where you live. So yes, it's definitely connected more to American English.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in British English, you don't hear people talking about larceny. No.
That's an American English word. Okay, it's me. So again, with stealing, this is where you attack somebody in the street to steal something. So maybe the criminal pulls a knife, maybe a gun, give me your wallet, give me your money, give me your jewelry, and it happens in the streets. And it's usually a crime with violence. So as Lynn said, pickpocketing or shoplifting is not really a violent crime, but this is often a violent crime. So anybody know that? Attacking someone, often in the street, with the idea to rob them.
I think
Hema
has it. Can you see?
Hema has it?
Hema's got one of them. She's got the person.
No, Hema said vandal.
No,
vandal's different.
Right, go further.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Right. Wait.
Mugger.
Mugger
is the person. And the crime?
The crime. Victor says assault, which it is as well. That's also the crime. But from the word mugger, the crime is mugging. Mugging. Mm-hmm.
And the verb to mug.
To mug.
Do you know anyone who has been mugged?
Oh, I've been mugged. I realized when I was preparing, I've been mugged 5 times in my life.
You're joking.
I'm not.
In the street?
I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here. So I was lucky, just like you with the carjacking. But I've actually been mugged 5 times. Yeah.
Have you been mugged in Spain?
No. But I've been mugged in Britain twice, in Africa twice.
Wow.
So yeah. But I was okay.
You survived.
I survived. Yeah. Okay.
2 more. I think we've got. No, this is the last one. The last one in the quiz.
All right. Right. Yeah, the last one. This is for me, Craig?
Yep.
Okay. Right. So, when there was, I wonder if anybody can. Here's a test for you. Can you remember what the word was that we learned earlier about when there is a demonstration on the streets that begins to become violent and there's a lot of problems? Can anybody remember what that word was? That crime? When people attack the police or they damage property. We had it earlier. We'll see if you're paying attention.
Earlier, Gemma said vandal, which, yes, is damaging property, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the crime that was connected to George Floyd, Black Lives Matter.
Esther's got it. Well done, Esther. Riot. Okay. Now, during a riot, sometimes shops, the glass on the shops becomes broken in the riot. People are actually fighting, and then the shops, suddenly the glass windows break. And then there are people who take advantage of that moment, and they run into the shops in order to steal the property. Now, their intention originally was not to rob the shop, but they see that the shop is open, they see that nobody is looking, and so they decide to go in and take the things that they find. Do you know the word for that crime and the person who commits it?
And on the news, you often see people walking out of shops with big plasma TVs and computers, looking around for the police and running away with valuable
They're
things.
Just trying to take advantage of the situation, of the breakdown in the law and order, and they're trying to take advantage, and they decide to steal, but it hasn't been premeditated. Whereas for a robbery, you think about it beforehand, it's premeditated. Anybody got that? Victor says with a yes sound.
Riot. I think he's speaking about riot.
Riot. Yeah.
Felipe has it. Looting.
Yep. Well done. Looting.
And Luthma said plunder.
Ah.
Interesting. That goes together often with looting.
Looting, plunder. Christine, she's listened to it so many times, but she can't remember the name. But Victor's got it right. Looter. And Felipe, the crime, looting. Okay.
And interestingly, loot is also slang for money. If you steal some loot, that's not a very common word, but it's slang, it's colloquial word for money, loot. Did you bring the loot? Did you steal the loot? Very good. Okay, that's it. Before we go, though, we do have a few more words to compare and explain the difference to. So we're going to speak about the difference between some words that may be confusing for you. So the difference, for example, between to steal and to rob, Lynn, what's mainly collocation, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. And I think that they both are related, but I think that when we say rob, it focuses more on the place or the person. So you rob a bank or you rob somebody. And when we use the verb to steal, we're usually talking about the objects. So the focus is on the objects. You steal money, you steal jewelry, okay? But you rob a place or a person and you steal something, okay? I think but they're very close. Okay.
Exactly.
And the next one, Craig?
Yeah, there's 3 here. Murder, manslaughter, and assassination are very similar. And again, that collocation with commit is very common. So a person who commits murder kills somebody intentionally. They do it on purpose. Manslaughter, you kill someone, but maybe it was an accident. Maybe you're arguing and you push them and they fall downstairs and they die. But you didn't mean, your intention wasn't to kill them. So murder generally has a more severe sentence. You go to prison for longer when you commit murder than manslaughter. And assassination is also very similar. The criminal is an assassin, and the verb is to assassinate, and it's to murder someone important. So you assassinate a president, for example, assassinate a prime minister, somebody who's very important. So that's basically the difference. Murder, you kill someone intentionally. Manslaughter, it's an accident. And assassination, it's an important person.
And Ava's just mentioned the word homicide. Now, we hear the word homicide a lot on the crime shows, the crime series that we all watch, like CSI and things like that. But it's an American word, homicide. We don't really use it very much, do we, in Britain? And I think homicide is murder. Is that right, Craig?
Yeah. Homicide is murder, and it's similar to suicide. So again, commit homicide, commit suicide. And again, it's more American English than British English.
We've got a question from Christine. She said, what's the difference between loot and plunder? Any idea?
I'm not sure. I know it's a very strong combination of words. Looting is stealing money, isn't it?
No, I think looting is what we described in shops, like the plasma TV and things. Yeah, that's the loot. And I think I remember the word plunder more from novels, you know. It's a more sort of historical literary word. Would you say that?
The dictionary definition is to rob goods or to steal goods or valuables by force, as in war, hostile raids, etc. So yes, it's violent, isn't it? To plunder a town.
Vikings. Would you say that? You know, the Vikings?
Yes.
When the Vikings came to Britain and they went in, and they would say plunder, would they?
Yes, and it's connected definitely to war, for example, where an invasion and hostile raids. And it's often used, as you say, in history. So the Vikings plundered the village. Looting is more modern, I think, with shops and businesses.
Yeah.
And plunder more connected with war and invasions.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah. Okay. Next one for me, jail and prison. Is that right?
Yeah, just 1 second while I find it. What's the difference
between jail and prison?
Between jail and prison.
I had to look this one up.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah, because we use both words, jail and prison, in British English, definitely. And but then I found the answer on good old Google. Yeah, and then I thought, yes, that's it. So basically, prison, they're both places where your freedom has been taken away. You're locked in a cell, in jail and in prison. But the difference is that if you're in prison, it's because you have been convicted and found guilty of a crime. So you've been convicted in a court of law, and then they send you to prison. Now, often people use jail and they say, he's convicted and he's sent to jail. That's also okay. But we also use the word jail for the place where maybe the police arrest you because they catch you on the street doing something wrong, and they decide to hold you maybe for a day or two until they decide to charge you with a crime. And then the place where you are held, which is often usually not in the prison, it's often in the police station, that's where the cell is, then that is often called the jail. All right. So jail is for you if you haven't been convicted or found guilty yet. And prison or jail is for when you're convicted. You can use both words for after you've been convicted. Yeah.
And as Luthma says, jail is a temporary thing often, because in Britain or in the UK, they might say you're being held in custody. And I think, apart from what Lynn said, I'd add that maybe it's more used in American English. Jailhouse Rock, Elvis Presley, who's in it tends to be used more in American English. I don't think we use it as much.
You'd be surprised, because I'm from the north and we say people are in jail. I say he's in jail.
So it's in London, then maybe it's not so used.
And maybe it comes from Monopoly as well. Remember the game Monopoly, where it says go to jail?
Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect £200.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. For you, judge and jury, Craig?
Judge and jury, both with that j sound. Judge. And the is the vowel sound. Be careful. Don't say judge. It's judge. Open your mouth. Judge, judge. The same sound as up that we had before. Judge and jury. Judge is the juez, the person who controls the court and the trial. And jury, the members of the public who decide if the accused person is guilty or innocent. A jury usually has 12 people, and they're chosen from the public. And if you are called by the court to go to a trial, then you are on jury service. They call you for jury service.
Have you ever been on jury service, Craig?
I haven't, no. I've been to the Old Bailey, which is a really famous court house in London, to see a trial. And there was a jury in the trial. It was an open court, and you could sit in the... I don't think you can now, but years ago you could go to the courthouse and see trials in the public area. And it was really interesting. Really interesting. So judge and jury. Next two.
Okay. And the last two. So one for me, trial and court. Yeah. So trial is actually the process where the lawyers and the judge are discussing whether you are guilty or not. Maybe there are witnesses that are called. So the whole process, which might last a few days, a few months, that is the trial. And the court, it's easy, is actually the place where it happens, where the trial is held, I think. Anything to add there, Craig?
No, that sounds good to me. I was just answering some questions in the chat room, in the text. There's a question from Christine. How about court and tribunal?
Well, a tribunal, again, the court is the place. So the tribunal would be closer to the trial in meaning. Yeah. I think the tribunal is also a process, but I think it has lesser, it's for lesser offences, a tribunal. For example, if you lose your job and you're not in agreement that your employer has sacked you, you might go to a tribunal, which is not a big court with a judge and a jury. It's just a very, very small process where there might be one or two civil servants who try to mediate, and you have a tribunal. I think that's it seems to be in the lower courts, I think, a tribunal. And a trial is one maybe for murder or for a very, very serious offence where it merits having a jury.
Yeah, you often hear about industrial tribunals as well, where maybe the government choose a collection of people to judge something, so to make a decision, to examine something. So court is very general, and it tries the legal process of the country, but a tribunal could be a collection of people appointed by the government for a specific purpose as well.
And also, I think in universities, sometimes they talk about academic tribunals where people actually validate people's work. You know, so you do a piece of research work and it might actually be judged by people. So it's not necessarily related to crime either, always, I don't think.
That's true. So, quick question. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, somebody, I can't remember the name because it's gone up now, but somebody just mentioned, and I think it's really good, that jury is the collection of people and the individual people are called jurors.
Jurors,
yes.
Yeah,
that was Esther. Yeah, great.
Well done, Esther. Yeah, Joss is asking, is it going to be recorded? Yes, it's being recorded. It is on Facebook. It will be on Facebook, but of course then it goes down tomorrow. It will disappear, but it will be on the Mansion Inglés page as well. We've got a selection of these videos on the Mansion Inglés page, and also Lynne's going to link to this on her website as well. So we'll give you the details, Joss, at the end. We're nearly finished. I think we've got one more.
This is
here.
for you. because I
This
don't
is me.
like
Oh yeah,
this
this
one.
is
Yes,
this is
like this one.
confusing, isn't it? This is confusing. So a lawyer is a person who practices law. There's another collocation. We had commit a crime, practice law. When you practice law, that does not mean that you don't know how to do it and you're trying to learn how to do it. It means that you are qualified to do law. But we don't say do law, we say practice law. That's the collocation. And a lawyer is someone who practices law. In American English, that person is called an advocate. And you often see, especially on business cards of lawyers or on the door of the lawyer, you see advocate at law. So that is the title in North America for a lawyer. It gets more complicated. A person in the UK who is qualified as a lawyer to be in court is called a barrister.
Which is what Christina spotted there. She said,
did she put barrister?
Yeah, she said, what's barrister?
Yeah, that's good because I don't have a card for that. So thank you, Christine. Barrister. Yeah, that's in British English. And that's the person with the wig. Wig is, how do you say wig in Spanish?
Peluca.
Peluca. Thank you. Peluca, like the white wig. So those lawyers with the black clothes and the white wig in court are barristers. There's another kind of lawyer in the UK who cannot go into court, and that lawyer is called a solicitor. And a solicitor will sell your house and make a will when you die.
More paperwork, don't they?
It's more, legal documents, legal contracts, renting properties, businesses, that kind of thing. So it's more minor, smaller law. They cannot go in and defend you for murder, for example. So there's solicitor and barrister.
And Eva's just written, not a barista.
No, not a barista. That's a person who makes your coffee. Nice.
That would be nice. That's what we all need afterwards. Okay, and Eva has also mentioned that she thinks practice law is weird. Yeah, and it is weird. It's like you said, they're not learning it; they do it. But we also practice medicine as well. So a lot of the older professions, you say you practice them. But I also want to point out she's written practice with a C. Now, this is a very common spelling mistake, right? Now, practice is written with a C, and it's also written with an S. And when it's in a verb, it's written with an S. And when it's a noun, it's written with a C. And the way to remember, this is what I always tell my students, right? Because there are a few words like this in English. And if you're doing exams, the examiners, they pick it up and they'll mark it wrong. So the way to remember is noun starts with N, verb is V. So N comes before V in the alphabet. C comes before S in the alphabet. So the noun has C and the verb has S. Okay.
That's a very good, well, I didn't know that. That's a very good tip, a very good piece of advice.
Yeah, when you're doing exams, I'm always crossing it out in all of the proficiencies. Okay.
But that's in British English. In American English, they spell the noun with an S, don't they?
Possibly, yeah. But that's yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Esther says wig and gown, peluca and vestido, and I don't know what gown is.
It's like it's a cape that they do have like a strange dress that they put over their coat.
It's all connected to tradition and the constitution, etc.
But also when you graduate in Britain, you have a cap and a gown as well. But we're going off the topic. We're no longer in crime. We should stay in crime. We
should stay in crime. And I think that's it. I want to be respectful of Lynne's time and your time because we've been with you for an hour. Just before we go, Joss asked earlier on about the vocabulary we've been practicing with you. That's practicing with an S, not with a C. So if you want to see the vocabulary written down, go to mansioningles.com. There's a section on video. Go to video and you'll see a group of videos. And this should be there in 2 or 3 days. You can see the vocabulary there, and also watch the older ones. And Lynne, do you want to say something about your website? Put it like this.
Yeah, well, I'm an online teacher. I've just started my business this year to teach online. I used to always teach face-to-face, but now with COVID, we're all online. And I really enjoy it. And I've created my own company. It's called Put It Like This. And you can look at my website, putitlikethis.com, if you're interested in classes. Yeah.
And I must say, the website's very, very pretty. I'm very jealous of Lynne's website because she spent quite a lot of time and quite a lot of energy creating it, and it looks lovely. So go and have a look. Go and have a look. It's a really, really nice website. And if you are interested in listening to a podcast, I'll remind you that every week we have a podcast over at inglespodcast.com where you can improve your English for free.
And I listen to it as well, and I recommend it to everybody.
I'll pay you after, Lynne.
I'm trying to get you to, this is the final question for the people. What crime am I trying to commit?
Bribery. No?
That's got it. I'm obviously not very good because it wasn't obvious.
Anna Laura said drug trafficking. Oh no, that was the beginning. I'm looking at the wrong side of the comments. That's my fault.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Eva said, put it like this. Thanks. You're welcome, Christine. Thank you for joining. Just before we go, and I want to thank Lynne for this idea, we've got some homework for you. Ooh. Have you ever committed a crime or been a victim of a crime? If you have, go over to Facebook and write in the chat room, tell us a story, or even create a video. If you're feeling creative, you could create a short video and tell us about it and practice your speaking. We'd be very interested to know about your crimes, your experience with crimes. And that's a way to practice the vocabulary that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
So thanks ever so much for being here this week. Hopefully we'll be back next week, and you'll see on Facebook and Twitter the day and the time. Stay safe, be careful, keep studying English, and see you soon.
And don't commit any crimes.
And don't commit any crimes. Take care.
Bye. Bye-bye.